One of the more solid films in the Halloween franchise is Halloween H20. Now, this movie is very divisive amongst the Halloween community. You have some people who absolutely love it, and then others who absolutely hate it. And truly, I really never thought people hated Halloween H20 until I started going on YouTube and looking at reviews and just being on social media in general, like Facebook or Twitter. And I will admit, there are some things in this movie that I can't defend. Just like that god-awful CGI mask. But that's another rant for another video. And when most people mention Halloween H20, they also mention how the movie looks similar to Scream and the rest of those horror movies in the late 90s. And we already know that 90s horror movies gets a bad rap. I see some similarities, but honestly, Scream and Halloween H20 are two completely different styles of movies. So let's dive in and talk about some qualities of this movie that made it great, and why people tend to ignore it. I'll start off by saying that the mood and atmosphere was great, along with the cinematography. And you could argue that this is the best Halloween movie cinematography wise. And there's certain scenes in this movie that look great. And I know the setting of this movie took place in California, but was it really a big deal? I see a lot of people complaining about that, but I personally don't think it was that big of a deal where people should complain. I like that they chose this location, and it enhanced the movie in many ways. And it's hard to capture that Halloween environment in that location. However, I think that the school that they filmed at was a great substitute to giving you that Halloween vibe. And I understand it's a Halloween movie, but it doesn't always have to have a checklist for fans to know it's Halloween. We understand that the movie takes place on Halloween. They give you clues throughout the whole movie. Michael Myers coming back. So it's almost common sense. So you really don't have to have that Haddonfield vibe to it. Although we did get that in the first 15 minutes of the movie. And another thing that gets hated on is the musical score. The Halloween theme for Halloween H20 is spectacular. It actually makes you feel like you're going on a ride with this movie. And most people say that Halloween H20 and Scream have similar music or even the same music. But I always can tell the difference. Leave a like down below if you can tell the difference in the musical scores between Scream and H20. But anyway, when I watch Halloween H20 and that music hits, man, it feels like a legit blockbuster movie. It's intense, crisp, and it fits the setting. And moving on to the acting performances. Jamie Lee Curtis did a great job. And in this movie, it's probably her strongest acting performance in the whole franchise. That's including the original Halloween and Halloween 2, along with Resurrection, of course. But Halloween 2018, I thought she did a decent job, but nothing near to Halloween H20. So I feel like she took control of this movie and she made it great. I might be going out on a limb, but this may be the single best acting performance by any actor in the Halloween franchise. And yes, that's including the late great Donald Pleasence. Leave a like down below if you agree with what I'm saying. And on to Josh Hartnett, I think he did a great job as well. I felt like the mother-son relationship was very believable. And believe it or not, LL Cool J did a great job. He didn't overact or underwhelm. And just a heads up, I have a video coming soon to my channel that I try to explain how to make Halloween Resurrection a better movie, and it involves LL Cool J's character. And I think most Halloween fans would appreciate the direction that I take with that video. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Another thing I would like to defend about Halloween H20 is Brad Loree. I have a love-hate relationship with Brad Loree, but in this movie, I thought he did fairly well. He made Myers scary again. Not only scary, but he created that intimidating factor that was missing in the past sequels. He's far from my favorite Michael, but I respect what he did in this film. And which brings me to another point about why H20 was so great. This movie had some great intensity and suspenseful scenes. You have that opening scene which is almost perfect. You have Mr. Sandman playing, and next thing you know, the nurse steps on the glass and everything just gets serious from there on out. And the way Michael ransacked Dr. Loomis's old house and the way he just stalked the nurse, you know, that scene just give me chills. And again, this is another showcase why I think the cinematography was at its best in the franchise. The way Michael was standing in that doorway and then he just disappeared, Man, and the nurse, she knew something was going on, just the way the vibe was, and then her room was ransacked, and she put two and two together. She seen that Laurie Strode files were gone, and she was like, forget this, and she ran out the house. But did anyone catch, like, when she was running, she almost looked like she was about to pass out when she was running to the neighbor's yard? I always thought that was weird because she did a little stutter step, and I thought she was about to pass out or something. But anyway, maybe that's just me. Leave a like down below if you noticed that as well. But I did think it was kind of stupid for the nurse to actually go into the house before the police came. I don't understand why she just didn't sit in the car. But I respect that she fought Michael back. Another personal favorite scene of mine was in the third act, when Laurie was under the tables and Michael Myers was standing on top of the tables. Man, oh man, you want to talk about mood and atmosphere, to quote Dave McCrae. Boy, this cafeteria scene captured everything you could imagine. Great chemistry between Brad Loree and Jamie Lee Curtis. But one of my all-time favorite scenes in the whole entire Halloween franchise is that bathroom scene. Nothing happened, but dang, you felt the intensity in the air. When Michael snatched that purse from that lady and looked back, and he was waiting for her to react, and luckily she didn't, and he just walked away like a G. Like he didn't have to strangle her, so he just let her live. But just imagine that. A 40-year-old grown-ass man walking around in a mask, coming in the bathroom with you, in the middle of nowhere, and you have your child next to you. But I want to ask this question. What in the world kind of car was this woman driving? It looked similar to Jeepers Creepers' truck. That in itself is scarier than Michael Myers. She probably was a serial killer herself driving something like that. But yeah, to conclude, I don't understand all the hate Halloween H20 gets. And yeah, I get it. The movie does have major plot holes and stuff that just doesn't make sense. However, this is one of the few Halloween movies that I just don't have to watch in October. It's a year-round movie. And it's arguably the most rewatchable Halloween film in the franchise. Overall, Halloween H20 can hold its own against the typical Halloween fan favorite films like the original Halloween, Halloween 4, and Halloween 2018. So let's start the debate. Comment down below on why you love or hate Halloween H20. And as always, if you love Halloween topics, please subscribe to my channel. I have loads of Halloween topics to talk about, especially in October. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll be greatly appreciated. It's always a pleasure to talk Michael Myers and Halloween. Be safe. Peace.